Have you ever wondered what a fund manager actually does to earn their fees? We've all seen the slick marketing, but what really goes on inside the trading floors of Britain's investment managers? I'm Sam Benstead from Interactive Investor, and I've been given exclusive access to some of the biggest investment firms in the country. Today I'm meeting Thomas Moore, manager of the Aberdeen Equity Income Trust, one of the highest yielding investment trusts on the market. Come with me to find out what a day in the life of a fund manager is really like.
Sam.
Hi Tom, good to see you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to be here.
Is this the new office then?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is
Great, it's
office,
really nice, isn't
So you can see it's quite full today. There's a lot of people buzzing around.
Yeah.
Quite a good atmosphere. You can feel there's a lot of interaction.
Thomas, thank you for having me in the Aberdeen offices.
Great to have you here.
Can you just explain where we are right now?
And where we're sitting here is right by one of the cafe areas, so you can probably hear in the background the sound of the coffee machine, pastries today, which is great. We just enlarged the office. We've got another floor that's recently opened up in the last 2 weeks, so there's a bit of a buzz here.
So we're here to do a video about the day in the life of a fund manager, but before we get started, please give me a quick overview of what you do at Aberdeen.
I manage the Aberdeen Equity Income Trust, along with other UK equity income portfolios, including open-ended funds. And I've been managing equity income money since 2009. I've been working at Aberdeen since 2002, and I started in the industry back in 1998.
So let's start with the beginning of your day. What time are you getting in? How do you get to work? And where are you normally based?
Yeah, I'm actually based in Edinburgh. And the great thing about that is I cycle in every morning. I get up relatively early, about 6 o'clock, 6:30, and I start looking at the information, the data coming through by that point on the economy. I'm also looking at the company news, and that starts coming out at 7 o'clock. That's the really important point of the day, because that's when we're starting to take stock of what share prices are going to do. And we're testing our original investment thesis on each company against what's actually happening. I'm working in the office in the centre of Edinburgh, and I also come down to London about 2 or 3 times a month. So yeah, it's a varied life.
So what is the typical structure to your day? Are there meetings that are always there, and which meetings appear throughout some periods of the week or months?
Yeah, so we have a combination of internal meetings where we're coming together and collaborating on all the news flow that we're getting and what that means for our portfolios. So we always meet together at 10 o'clock every morning, and that is the opportunity for us to come together and actually hammer out what ideas are potentially going to work for the portfolios to deliver on the outcomes that we've set out to our clients. So as well as those internal meetings, we also have company management meetings where we're meeting the chief execs and the finance directors of companies. We are looking at opportunities, perhaps ideas that we've come across that we'd like to explore further, so companies that we don't currently own, but also going through the companies we already own and actually testing out that investment thesis that we've come up with on that stock. And on top of that, we also meet clients, so we're also explaining to clients, here's what we're doing in the portfolios, here's how it's coming through in performance, here's the action we're taking, and here's why we're confident that we will be able to deliver for the clients those objectives that we've set out.
And when you have your morning meetings, what are the themes you're discussing at the moment? What's on the agenda?
Well, at the moment, there is, as well as the company specifics, which is always an ongoing stream of news flow on those companies, we're also getting a lot in terms of 2 specific themes. Firstly, we're getting the rise of inflation. So that's really important, particularly for UK equity income funds, which is what I'm spending the vast bulk of my time looking at. Because of course inflation means that there's a cost of living pressure for the individuals out there who are struggling to pay their bills. And so we're coming up with ideas that will help to protect people against the cost of living pressures. So that's the really big theme in terms of inflation, and of course that's translating into higher interest rates around the world, and so we're having to incorporate all of that into our investment thinking.
When you come up with a new idea or you discuss a topic, how long would it typically take for that idea to actually appear in the portfolio, and what's that process like?
Right. Well, it all starts with the company analysis. So we are looking to do a lot of work getting to know the company, the foundations of the company, what does that company do, and why do they have a sustainable competitive advantage. Now, of course, on top of that, we need to look at the valuation. So it might be that it's the best company in the world, but if all of that good news is already priced in, the analyst might be concluding, well, it's a great company, but it wouldn't necessarily make such a great investment. So that's the first starting point. It is deep company analysis, getting to know the company, doing the work, and then meeting that company and putting to the company those questions that arise from that analysis. And then we get together in our pods, our product groups, we get together and we say, well, which of these ideas that we've come up with is most suitable for the products that we are putting out there in front of our clients?
It sounds very busy. Is there time to relax in the office and do your own research, get your head down?
Yeah, and actually it's funny, that relaxing time can mean going for a walk with the colleagues. It can mean spending time just shooting the breeze. I mean, that's actually part of the joy of the job, is actually some of that most creative time can be spent really just having that free thought, not being afraid to ask silly questions, and actually sometimes, you know, that's when you have that eureka moment and you say, the company I met today said this, how does that relate to the company my colleague may have met a week ago? And look, you know, you put all that together and then you throw in a bit of macro and what the in-house economists and strategists are saying about the outlook, and then you've got the makings of a really exciting investment thesis.
Can you talk me through the process of buying or selling a company? So you have the idea, make a decision, what happens next?
Yeah, so we've done the analysis on a company, we've come up with a recommendation, so the analyst will be able to say, actually it's not interesting, the company is either a sell or sometimes a hold, a weak hold. And then of course you've got companies where you're saying, we've done the work, we think this company's got some really strong attributes that haven't been priced in by the market. So that's what we're looking for with a buy recommendation. Now we need to think about how that would fit into the existing portfolio. And really you're looking to build a portfolio that's going to be diversified, that will be able to take the knocks during economically challenging periods. And that's the portfolio construction side.
In a typical week, how often are you buying and selling shares?
It depends over what time horizon the investment thesis that we've come up with is going to play out. In some cases, something happens really quickly and we'll be into a stock, you know, in month 1, and by month 6, that's job done. On the other hand, there can be stocks where, especially for income funds, which is the money I manage, where you're actually sitting there and you're seeing the dividend grow, you're seeing the share price come through. Actually, more often than not, we are holding companies for 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 years.
And then when you trade, is that done by a separate team? Does risk management get involved? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have tools that will enable us to see what risks we're taking, and we can see that at the stock level, we can see that at the sector level, we can see all the different macro themes that are affecting the fund. So the risk tools we have will enable us to look at the portfolio and say, what kind of risks are we running? Are we comfortable with those risks that we're running? And that's all part of that portfolio construction aspect.
You start early. What time do you normally finish? And do you have to go to functions after work occasionally?
The trading day finishes at 4:30, so by then we'll know how the portfolio has done that day and we'll be able to assess all the company news flow. Normally there's quite a lot still to do, so we'll leave the office by about 6 or 6:15. Yes, there are events after work, sometimes it's organised by the company, so things that will pull people together, team events, and then there are external events as well, so sometimes we're meeting clients after work, and then that's a time to actually hear the colour of the story, like how are things going. These are some great events, but of course once that's all done, I need to get back, and I've got home life as well. I've got 4 kids, so yeah, it's making sure I get the right balance between all of that.
Thomas, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Good to see you.